from South Zeal, we are joined this afternoon by the musical talents of Mariners Away and Jim Causley. Jim, good fellow that he is, has managed to prize Mariners Away from their home from home, the King's Arms in South Zeal, we've been told, for this afternoon's special concert. So please give a great big welcome to Jim Causley and Mariners Away.
Well, it's worse than that, actually. I prized them away from their holiday in Cornwall. Yes. That's the level of dedication we've got here today. They're all set for a nice, jolly holiday, and then I got this request to come here by Sidmouth Folk Festival, and here they are. It's wonderful. So, the reason, which I'm sure you're all wondering why I'm here with this fantastic shanty group, is because I had a bit of a year and a half off. Don't know if you know about that. And I discovered home recording, and I made a few homemade CDs, and one project I really wanted to do was record a load of traditional Devon folk songs, and I've noticed that a lot have been recorded sort of here and there, but there's no sort of album with all the big favourites all in one place, so that's what I decided to do. And through the wonders of technology, I got lots of friends to help me out. I got Nick White and Becky Driscoll on fiddle, and Matt Norman and banjo and mandolin, and we're very blessed in our village of South Seal. Well, some might argue otherwise, but we have a shanty group in the village. Possibly one of the most inland shanty groups in the county. We'll explain more about that shortly. But they very kindly helped me out with the CD, providing backing vocals to make it sound like we're all in the village hall or the pub together singing along on these songs. And they all recorded themselves remotely on their mobile phones at home. And Trev here magically stuck it all together. And bada bing, we made an album. So I've actually got a shanty group singing a lot of non-shanties, a lot of inland songs, but we are doing a couple of sea songs as well, aren't we? Wow. So we're going to start off with the sea song that I've recorded, and this is one it's from down Plymouth way, and it's one that our wonderful Victorian folk song collector Baring Gould collected back in the late 1800s, and Baring Gould collected this from, always got to get this right, where is he? Oh yes, from Will Huggins of Lidford, if you know Lidford, on the northern edge of Dartmoor. And there's a few other versions of this, but this is Will Huggins' version. It's called Outward Bound. I won't tell you the chorus, you'll soon catch on. From Plymouth docks we bade farewell to charming Polly and lovely Nell. With our anchors weighed and our sails unfurled, we're bound across the watery world. For the seas we're outward bound, for the seas we're outward bound. Well, the wind blew hard, the wind blew east, our good ship sailed 9 knots at least, and at the Spaniards we let fly. Well, we've got grog, we'll never say die. For the seas we're outward bound, for the seas we're outward bound. When we returned to Plymouth docks, the fair pretty maids came down in flocks. The maids did skip and the maids did say, well, here comes Jack with his 3 years' pay. From the seas he's homeward bound, from the seas he's homeward bound. So, to the Dog and Bell we come at last. Oh, well, I got that wrong. And then we come to the Dog and Bell, where all good liquors are there to sell. In comes Arch with his sweetest smile, saying, "Drink, merry lads, it's worth your while." From the seas you're homeward bound, from the seas you're homeward bound. Oh, when our money is gone and spent, for none is borrowed and none is lent, well, in comes Arch with his sourest frown, saying, "Stand up, Jack, let John sit down." The sea is outward bound, and John is homeward bound. Oh, when at last we've touched our chink, well, then as fishes we'll sit and drink, and the fair pretty maids with kisses sweet will John desert and Jack will creep. For Jack is outward bound, and John is outward bound. For the seas we're outward bound, for the seas we're outward bound. Thank you very much. And we're going to do a much more inland song now from North Devon. right the other side of the coast, as it were. And this is a song I learnt from a wonderful singer called Margaret Palmer, who was a farmer on the Devon side of Exmoor. And Margaret made the journey to Bampton Fair with her father every year, driving the ponies from the moor down to Bampton, which is again right on the... Not Bampton in Oxfordshire, don't worry, that would be quite far, wouldn't it? We have a Bampton in Devon as well. And a famous horse fair there, which still happens every last Thursday in October. So if you're in that part of the world and you're in need of a pony, that's where to go. So this is Bampton Fair. No, that's not Bampton Fair. When... Got to suspend your imagination for a bit. I was a young maid, my daddy said to me, daughter, come along to the horse fair with me. Up in the morning away we will go, and we will take the long road to the fair at Bampton Ho. We started off at daybreak in the cold October air. We then saw the travelling people all going to the fair, and as we come through Witheridge it wasn't far to go to reach the town of Tiverton that made history long ago. And as we jogged along to the outskirts of the fair, we then went down to Brook Street and to the Market Square. 'Twas there we saw the horse dealers busy at their trade. They had horses by the hundred, by every human shade. There were grass horses, race horses, cobs and hunters too, and little Exmoor ponies, of them were quite a few. We heard a ballad singer singing songs of long ago. Everyone was gathered for the fair at Bampton Ho. And as we come into the town we saw the famous ring. 'Twas here they were performing the crowning of the king. We heard him making speeches and he seemed so very proud as he jumped onto the platform and the cheering of the crowd. But times have changed a bit today, a new system now exists, them chosen by the ballot instead of by the fist. The custom they would practice in the days of long ago was to fight the holding battle for the king of Bampton Ho. There were grass horses, race horses, cobs and hunters too, and little Exmoor ponies, of them were quite a few. We heard a ballad singer singing songs of long ago. Everyone was gathered for the fair of Bampton Ho. And then me father... No, we didn't. I'm terrible for this today. Do you know it's been 18 months since I've been on a stage? You'd never tell. Oh, that's it. Sympathy, sympathy. And then with the Maggie mates we went for a jar or two of cider. We heard the music playing and the dancing getting wilder. The women in their homemade shawls, the men in hobnail boots. I've been getting that the opposite way around quite a lot. The atmosphere was jolly with their fiddles and their flutes. And then my father says to me, it had enough to drink. So up into the horse and cart we hit the midnight trip. We started off along the road with a fair old ways to go. But I never shall forget about the fair at Bampton Ho. There were grass horses, race horses, cobs and hunters too, and little Exmoor ponies, of them were quite a few. We heard a ballad singer singing songs of long ago. Everyone was gathered for the fair of Bampton Ho. There were grass horses, race horses, cobs and hunters too, and little Exmoor ponies, of them were quite a few. We heard a ballad singer singing songs of long ago. Everyone was gathered for the fair of Bampton Ho. Pass you up to the trip now.
Well, good afternoon. How great this is. It's not raining yet, is it? It isn't in here anyway. No, I shouldn't say that. As Jim has already said, we probably hold dubious distinction of being the furthest from the sea of any shanty group in Devon. But we live on a track called the Mariner's Way, which is why we're called Mariners Away. And evidently, the sailors of old used to walk from Dartmouth all the way up to Bideford if there was another journey that they could take, a ship going from North Devon, which those two ports, Dartmouth and Bideford, were the biggest ports in the UK in about 1800 or so. Some of these guys even remember it. So, we were looking for a song which would well, explain how this worked, but we haven't got one. So this is our own song called The Mariner's Way, and it's got one of those really easy choruses. It is easy because we wrote it, and it's and we're on the Mariner's Way, me boys. We're on the Mariner's Way. At Bideford Quay our ship will be. We're on the Mariner's Way. So how easy is that? So time for you to start joining in with us, and this is Mariner's Way. 'Twas early in the morning that we left Dartmouth town. To Totnes we were headed then, along the Dart we're bound. A week in port had left us short, now we are on our way. 3 jolly lads with full kit bags, in need of sailors' pay. And we're on the Mariner's Way, me boys, we're on the Mariner's Way. At Bideford Quay our ship will be. We're on the Mariner's Way. From Ashburton to Widdicombe we marched along with ease. At Leapstone our track was shown beside some shady trees. Moorgate came and went again as grey skies gathered round. Us jolly jacks, we bent our backs to head for lower ground. And we're on the Mariner's Way, me boys, we're on the Mariner's Way. At Bideford Quay our ship will be. We're on the Mariner's Way. From Hurston down to Jerston we tramped through wind and hail. If we'd been on the seas, me boys, 'twould surely rent the sail. But a tot of gin in a Throwley inn did raise our spirits high. We rested there for some ladies fair, would not bid us goodbye. And we're on the Mariner's Way, me boys, we're on the Mariner's Way. At Bideford Quay our ship will be. We're on the Mariner's Way. We hurried through South Seal, me boys, we'd heard of such strange tales. Was that the sound of singing or the beast of Dartmoor's wail? But stranger things we seen at sea when drifting through the fog. Some said it were a serpent's tail, some said it were the grog. And we're on the Mariner's Way, me boys, we're on the Mariner's Way. At Bideford Quay our ship will be. We're on the Mariner's Way. Then merrily us sailors 3 reached Bideford at noon. With weather fair and salt sea air we'll join the friendship soon. Then sail once more to Virginia's shore, where the gals all love to play, and fill the hold with tobacco to earn our sailors' pay. And we're on the Mariner's Way, me boys, we're on the Mariner's Way. At Bideford Quay our ship will be. We're on the Mariner's Way. And we're on the Mariner's Way, me boys, we're on the Mariner's Way. At Bideford Quay our ship will be. We're on the Mariner's Way.
Now, we're going to get a little bit political now. Slightly dodgy. One wonderful thing that happened during the lockdown year was that Bill here lent me a wonderful suitcase that he owns full of old songs he's collected. A lot of sheet music, a lot of music hall and Edwardian type songs and dialect songs, and also some numbers he collected from the transactions of the Devonshire Association. Any Devonshire Association members here today? No. Oh, there's one.
One at the back.
Well done.
One.
And they've even got a music section now, if that's of interest to you. And anyway, this is from them. and it's a political song. It was a sort of a campaign song that was collected. Who's this one sent in by? From the 1891 by-election of South Molton, if you're familiar with that. Apparently it was quite a big do. And this is a song from the Liberal cause. Labour weren't a thing at that stage, were they? I don't believe. No. So Liberal was the way, if you were that way inclined. And it's called Ye Men of Devon. You're going to join me here?
Shall I join you there?
Yeah?
Or shall I join you there?
Oh, you have your own.
I'll
Go on, treat
have
yourself.
Let's do this one. Yeah.
Right. Ye men of Devon, raise the strain, sing out the Liberal band. Let Lambert represent the cause of labour on the land. From farm and cottage, hill and dale goes up the loyal cry. We'll vote for Lambert, truth and right, Lambert and liberty. Ye men of Devon, raise the strain, sing out the Liberal band. Let Lambert represent the cause of labour on the land. There was a time in Devonshire when lords and labouring men worked hand in hand for liberty and won great victories then. But now the noble lords have joined the Tory upper ten. Ye noble men of nature's mould will win the fight again. Ye men of Devon, raise the strain, sing out the Liberal band. Let Lambert represent the cause of labour on the land. On Devon soil in days gone by, our sighs for freedom bled. And where our fathers marched before, in those same steps we'll tread. For liberty of faith and speech they gave their lives, and we will give our votes for Lambert, now Lambert and liberty. Ye men of Devon, raise the strain, sing out the Liberal band. Let Lambert represent the cause of labour on the land. Don Lambert is the man we want the farmer's case to mend. He lives and works on Devon soil and is the labourer's friend. So let South Molton lead the way and credit and combine. With Torrington and all the rest we'll lick the Tories fine. Ye men of Devon, raise the strain, sing out the Liberal band. Let Lambert represent the cause of labour on the land. Ye men of Devon, raise the strain, sing out the Liberal band. Let Lambert represent the cause of labour on the land. Oh, a lot of Lib Dem voters here today. Right. Oh. Now we're going to go back to the... oh no, we're not going to go to sea, we're going to go inland a bit more. And Mr. Bill Murray is going to give us a number.
This is a song from A.J. Coles, who was Jan Stewart. It's a dialect song, and it's got a chorus. What about a little drop of cider, just to make the wheels go round? What about a little drop of cider, you'll be better for it, I'll be bound. Whether you're a walker or a rider, fill your mug up once before you start. What about a little drop of cider, just to warm the cockles of your heart? Old Farmer Clunk was a jovial chap who lived down Devonshire way. At anyone he chanced to meet, he'd pass the time of day. One favourite question he'd have got, which he did never miss. No matter what you said to him, he'd always ask ye this. Wow! What about a little drop of cider, just to make the wheels go round? Well, what about a little drop of cider, you'll be better for it, I'll be bound. Whether you're a walker or a rider, fill your mug up once before you